I am continuing in my reading. What I'm doing in this series is to read through the entire standard works of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This consists of the Bible, the Book of Mormon, the Doctrine and Covenants, and the Pearl of Great Price. I am continuing reading in a chronological order, according to event, not according to publication or volume, so I'm skipping around a bit as I move along. We are continuing in the Gospels. We are in that last few days before the Passover and the Atonement. And during this time, Christ has been contending with the Jews a lot. They have tried 3 or 4 times to trip him up in his words, and they keep failing. And now they are giving up. Christ has shut them up. So now they have to find a different way to try and justify arresting him. But we continue as Christ teaches the people in Jerusalem, the common people. And so now we're going to turn to Matthew. And for this video, we're just going to read chapter 23. Now, there is a lot of Joseph Smith translations for this, and I will probably have to do it in a second video. So we will see how that goes. But let us first read in the King James, Matthew chapter 23. Then spake Jesus to the multitude and to his disciples, saying, The scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat. All therefore whatsoever they bid you observe, that observe and do, but do not ye after their works. For they say, and do not. For they bind heavy burdens, and grievous to be borne, and lay them on men's shoulders, but they themselves will not move them with one of their fingers. But all their works they do for to be seen of men. They make broad their phylacteries, and enlarge the borders of their garments, and love the uppermost rooms at feasts, and the chief seats in the synagogues, and greetings in the markets, and to be called of men, Rabbi, Rabbi. But be not ye called Rabbi, for one is your master, even Christ, and all ye are brethren. And call no man your father upon the earth, for one is your Father which is in heaven. Neither be ye called master, for one is your master, even Christ. But he that is greatest among you shall be your servant. And whosoever shall exalt himself shall be abased, and he that shall humble himself shall be exalted. Christ is saying, look, the Pharisees, the scribes, these guys are all in positions of authority. They have the authority. And so when they teach you the law, they teach you the law, and you follow it, and you'll be good. But don't emulate them. Don't do what they do. Do what they teach, but not what they... But now, where it says, they make broad their phylacteries and enlarge the borders of their garments, and they love the uppermost rooms. So they want the honors of men. Now, the phylacteries, there was the custom of the Jews that you would put some of the scriptures in little scrolls and put them in these cases known as phylacteries, which would then either be bound on your arm or worn on the forehead. And then the border of the garment was a part of the law of Moses. You would wear a garment under your clothes, and you'd have a border on it as a symbol of your commitment to God. And to show that they were more righteous, they would have bigger phylacteries that prominently displayed so everybody have to see it. And the borders of their undergarments would be so large that they would be visible whenever they walk down the street. And that's what we're talking about. They're making a show to make it appear that they are more righteous when they're not. And that's what Christ is condemning here. And then he says, call no man Rabbi, because you have only one master, and that is Christ. And you have only one Father, and that is Heavenly Father. So it's an interesting stuff. That's all I'm going to say there. Let us continue verse 13. But woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye shut up the kingdom of heaven against men, for ye neither go in yourselves, and neither suffer ye them that are entering to go in. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye devour widows' houses, and for a pretense make long prayer. Therefore ye shall receive the greater damnation. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye compass sea and land to make one proselyte, and when he is made, ye make him twofold more the child of hell than yourselves. Woe unto you, ye blind guides, who say, Whosoever shall swear by the temple, it is nothing, but whosoever shall swear by the gold of the temple, he is a debtor. Ye fools and blind, for whether is greater, the gold or the temple that sanctifieth the gold? And whosoever shall swear by the altar, it is nothing, but whosoever sweareth by the gift that is upon it, he is guilty. Ye fools and blind, for whether is greater, the gift or the altar that sanctifieth the gift? Whoso therefore shall swear by the altar sweareth by it, and by all things thereon. And whoso shall swear by the temple sweareth by it, and by him that dwelleth therein. He that shall swear by heaven, and sweareth by the throne of God, and by him that sitteth thereon, Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye pay tithe of mint and anise and cumin, and have omitted the weightier matters of the law, judgment, mercy, and faith. These ought ye to have done, and not to leave the other undone. Ye blind guides, which strain at a gnat, and swallow a camel. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye make clean the outside of the cup and of the platter, but within they are full of extortion and excess. Thou blind Pharisee, cleanse first that which is within the cup and platter, then the outside of them may be clean also. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye are like unto whited sepulchres, which indeed appear beautiful outward, but are within full of dead men's bones and of all uncleanness. Even so, ye also outwardly appear righteous unto men, but within ye are full of hypocrisy and iniquity. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! Because ye build the tombs of the prophets, and garnish the sepulchres of the righteous, and say, If we had been in the days of our fathers, we would not have been partakers with them in the blood of the prophets. Wherefore ye be witnesses unto yourselves, that ye are the children of them which killed the prophets. Fill ye up then the measure of your fathers. Ye serpents, ye generation of vipers, how can ye escape the damnation of hell? This is one of the greatest rebukes, a scathing rebuke of the Pharisees and the scribes and all their hypocrisy and their wickedness. Now, there's not really time in a video like this to go through every point. And most of it's pretty self-explanatory, I think. Anyway, so we don't need to talk about all of it. I do want to mention this, that he says, you compass sea and land to gain one proselyte. A proselyte is a convert to the Jewish religion. This is a person who is not of the house of Israel, but converts, and they become circumcised, they baptize, they become a Jew. That's what a proselyte is. It is a non-Israelite Jew. And you work all this time to gain one proselyte. They're doing their missionary work. But what's the result? If the Pharisees convert anybody to the Jewish religion at this time, they're actually corrupting them more than if they stay pagan. So you make them twofold more the child of hell than yourselves. You're bringing them out of the pagan worship, out of ignorance, and into some knowledge of God, but into at least as much wickedness, if not more. And because they now have knowledge, their wickedness is greater. It's just a scathing rebuke. It doesn't matter if you swear by the temple, but if you swear by the gold. In other words, they're putting the money and the earthly value higher than the rewards of heaven, higher than the laws of God. The temple sanctifies the gold. The temple is what makes the gold pure. But they would rather have the gold than the sanctifying of the temple. And they would rather have the money of the sacrifice than the sanctifying of the altar. It's a great rebuke. I'm not going to get into any more of it. It's something that you should really go verse by verse and really dive into it, because there's some great stuff there. But let us finish this, verse 34. Wherefore, behold, I send unto you prophets and wise men and scribes, and some of them ye shall kill and crucify, and some of them shall ye scourge in your synagogues, and persecute them from city to city, that upon you may come all the righteous blood shed upon the earth, from the blood of righteous Abel unto the blood of Zacharias, son of Barachias, whom ye slew between the temple and the altar. Verily I say unto you, all these things shall come upon this generation. O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, thou that killest the prophets and stonest them which are sent unto thee, how oft would I have gathered thy children together, even as a hen gathereth her chickens under her wings, and ye would not. Behold, your house is left unto you desolate. For I say unto you, ye shall not see me henceforth, till ye shall say, Blessed is he that cometh in the name of the Lord. You will also note that much of this was already stated in Luke. That, especially that ending part, that lament over Jerusalem. So again, I don't want to get too much into it. This is just Christ lamenting. He's saying, I'm going to send you to the prophets. You're going to scourge, you're going to kill them. Remember, a number of the apostles, most of the apostles, are killed. They die as martyrs, and Peter himself is actually crucified. So we see the fulfillment of this in history. Now I'm going to leave that here for now, and we are going to be in some combined videos next. But I will do the Joseph Smith translation first, so I will see you there.